What's going on, y'all? Forward Favor, man. I'm back with another video, man. We're doing a reaction to if you're an American living abroad, tell me why you would never go back, man. This probably will really resonate with me and those who have traveled abroad, those who live abroad, those who have gone and come back, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit of a shock, you know? But anyways, let's get into the video.
Hi TikTok. So I'm an American living in Germany and I'm asking you to stitch this. If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
Financial stability. My apartment is paid for. MRIs are so much cheaper here and affordable. I can safely take walks alone at night. Everything's walkable. Public transportation is so good.
Okay, so this is mine.
That
Okay, no
booze?
hate to this creator whatsoever. I'm actually going to answer this question.
I think she's referring to the fact you can buy booze at a younger age, right? I don't even know what the specific age is in particular countries, but I think you can be 18 in most places and be getting a bottle.
In another stitch.
I'll put that in the comments so you can find it.
But I do quickly want to point out 3 different privileges that come along with this question. Number 1, huge reason why I'm able to live in France long term is because of my US American passport. So yeah, I don't want to go back to the US, but being from the US is a huge reason why I'm able to leave in the first place. Second point, there are a ton of people in the United States who are from the United States who have the US American passport who still are not able to leave, even if they want to. And my third and final point, there are a ton of people all around the world who are trying to get to the United States. Oftentimes they will be going through an excruciatingly long process in order to just make it there. Often that process never comes to fruition. Some people can't even apply in the first place. So I don't say all of this to prevent any critiques towards the US. There's a lot to critique. But I do just want to make sure that I'm being mindful of the privileges that come along with being a US American citizen. Especially one that does not want to go back.
That had nothing to do with the question, bro.
I have a long list of reasons why, but I'm going to mention just a few of the more important ones here. Number 1, work-life balance. Instead of working 70 hours a week, now I work 35 to 40, and this is considered a lot, especially for my profession as an English teacher. Number 2, the relationships you have with other people. They're more based on qualities and characteristics of a person as opposed to
What you can
status
get out of
and
them.
what you do.
Yeah, facts.
Number 3, healthcare. Affordable healthcare. Hello. And number 4, the lack of violence and extreme racism and all of those things. I mean, don't get me wrong, these things still exist here in Europe, but not to the extent that they do in the United States of America. And number 4, the food.
Bruh, you lying. Ain't no way. He needed to say where he was, because if he in the UK, you know damn well British food is garbage. I ain't gonna lie, man. The one thing we got here is food. In America, we got good food. I mean, you can go coast to coast and find something decent. Overseas, lack of seasoning, lack of variety. You'll find certain cultural melting pots that have their own communities where they, like, you know, you'll find the Caribbeans doing their thing, or, you know, Asian culture, you know what I mean? But come on, man, it varies.
God, where to bloody start? Hi, US American here who's been living in Spain for the last 3 years, and I actually get asked this
You ain't
question
no American,
a lot,
G?
especially when I was in the States earlier this year. A lot of people ask me, will you ever move back? Short answer, absolutely fucking not.
Nah.
First, the healthcare here is incredibly cheap. I am not yet a permanent resident, so I don't qualify for the free healthcare.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I have to pay for healthcare through private insurance, and it costs me less than 1,000 US dollars a year for full coverage, including dental, no copays, nothing. The second thing is the overall lifestyle here is so much healthier. The food is much better quality. People go out for walks every day.
Facts.
And people also prioritize their lives over their work. People here work to live. They don't live to work. Not to mention it's a multilingual country,
Well
and people
said.
tend to be a lot more tolerant of other cultures. I have more if you want to hear it.
I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I find this ironic. Living abroad. You're an American living abroad in Germany. You mean you went home? You're not living abroad. You're living at home.
I don't even want to hear what dude had to say, man. He just pissed me off just the way he started his piece, like, yeah.
Land, and it was taken over by genocide. I'm not American, but I live in America and I travel quite a bit. This brand new one-bedroom apartment costs only about $400 a month. And this right here is the view that I wake up to every single day. I can easily get a digital nomad healthcare which costs about $40 a month. I don't have to be force-fed bullshit by the media about being black.
This fool's dumb. Like, bro, let us know where you are. How you gonna say I'm not American, but I live in America and I travel all the time? Looked like he was in California based on his view. But then he said his rent was $400. That's not believable. You know what I mean? That's not Cali. So you probably in Spain somewhere. Like, can we establish where we are first? Because I'm confused.
I don't have to worry about being shot to death in a shopping mall by some angry narcissist. Although I make more, but I can easily live on $1,000 a month if I wanted to. Now I can actually afford nice things, go to nice dinners with friends without having to worry about some unexpected expense coming up. Look, I can go on and on and on. And while I'm grateful that I can even call myself a US resident despite my background, there is so many things I would change.
Responding to the stitch, if you were an American living abroad, that is me. Why would you never go back to the United States? I will put the original creator in the comments. So there's a lot to talk about. Let's just do a speed round. Affordable healthcare. I literally went to the doctor the other day and only paid €7 for a doctor's appointment. And if I wasn't insured, this only would have cost me €20. In the US, with insurance, that would have cost me at least $30. I'm not afraid of my students pulling out a gun at the university where I work. Self-explanatory. The food. Sick days are not the same thing as vacation days. You're allowed to be sick. A full-time job here is 35 hours a week as opposed to 40 plus. You are not expected to answer work emails or do work after hours or on the weekends. The government offers financial assistance to decrease the amount of your rent if you make a low enough income. Tenants here have rights. I could break my lease and not face any financial consequences. Just in general, there's way more vacation days. Things like climate change are not up for debate. In general, people here are just way more sustainably conscious. For example, if you go to the grocery store, everybody's just expected to have their own bags, and if you don't have your own bag, then you have to pay for one. And finally, public transportation here is way more reliable, at least in Paris. So yeah.
I remember that in the UK, man. I would go shopping with my ex, and it was like she had bags ready to go. Like she had bags, like Aldi kind of bags, you know? Like I don't even know why I'm showing y'all this, but I got one sitting right next to me. Like these kind of bags. She had them ready to go. And yeah, you had to pay for them if you didn't bring yours. I think the real benefits come in when you're not very wealthy. The wealthy live very well in America because there's no real concept of poverty, right? They're able to live at a certain extent that the real struggle comes in when you're middle, lower class. So, but the thing is, in Europe, wherever, over the seas, everybody living good. If you're above the margin, you're excellent. If you're below, you're still getting, the government still funding you or assisting in some type, shape, form, fashion.
Yeah, if I can help it, I'm never going back to the US.
Hey, that was me at one point.
I've lived abroad now for, I think, going on 12 years. I've lived in South Korea, Australia, Colombia, and now in Germany.
Colombia!
And without a doubt, the number one reason I still live abroad is healthcare. I have several chronic health conditions, including asthma. And here in Germany, I get my inhalers, my albuterol, for free. Which was like mind-blowing when that first happened, when I was living, I think, in Korea at the time. But yeah, I get my inhalers for free. As a master's student here, I paid €85 a month for comprehensive health insurance. And during that time, I also had an experimental ear surgery. I had a very severe ear issue, which is very rare. And yeah, I had an experimental surgery and I got an apology letter from my health insurance apologizing that I had to pay €10 for staying an extra night in the hospital. €10. They apologized.
Okay, so I am not an American living overseas. However, there is a trend forecast that within the next 6 years, if America cannot get its shit together, there is going to be a large exodus of Americans fleeing America and moving overseas, even South America, a lot of the Caribbean area, Europe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, folks been on this type of time a decade ago. I was on this type of time in my early 20s. Of course, there were some, particulars that didn't get hashed out. I'm not going to go into detail, but man, it just make me go back to my early 20s when I was on my own exodus of America. I was out. I spent a lot of time in Europe. I didn't want to come back at all. If I was an asylum seeker, I'd be a piece. I'm back here. obviously according to a specific purpose and plan, God's plan, things I couldn't control, you know. But with that being said, a lot of folks has been considering moving away a long time ago. And it's not even particular to like healthcare or the economy. It's like more particular to like just general relations. You know what I mean? Like one of the girls was saying in the prior clip, people in other places don't really, of course you can have the few, but they don't really like rank you based off of what you can provide or think about having a relationship or developing a friendship with you based off of credentials. Out here, it's all about your status, your money. How many followers you got on Instagram? Okay, I may be able to, you know, like it's so corrupted, you know what I mean, in the sense of the social era. Everybody's online trying to make money. It's a facade people live through online. But I would say big like Instagram and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people, there's no solid foundations in relationships anymore. Divorce rates skyrocketing, you know, the dating market plummeting. You know what I mean? Like, and it's all because, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons. We could be here all day, but like, that's a big point. Outside of healthcare and inflation and things of the sort, relationships don't even mesh naturally in America anymore. And of course, COVID messed up a lot of things. But at the end of the day, man, it's weird. It's really weird. It's not organic. It's all a facade now. You have 50,000 followers on Instagram?
Places.
Yes,
it's
you can take me out on a date.
A large number of Gen Z, so straight out of high school, college age, Gen Zs, young 20-somethings, and then you're going to see a lot of millennials, especially a lot of millennials without children. Their boomer parents are going to be dead. They can't afford houses. But
The
they can afford
boomers.
houses overseas because they're going to inherit some money. So yeah, that is the trend forecast in the next 6 years.
Let's go
We're
overseas,
going to see a
y'all.
large
We out.
exodus of people from America fleeing because America is not doing well.
Sure, I can give you my viewpoints. For context, I'm from South Carolina, but I live in South Korea. I've been here since May 2016. I'm in my classroom now, actually. Yeah, it's a big old classroom.
He a teacher, bruh, so it's kind of different. Me in particular, I'm not going to Asia. I'm not. I'm just not, man. I'm going to Europe or something. Colombia. I'm not going to Asian places. And like, no, it's just like, as a black man, it's weird out there, bro. I hear stories like, and this is my thing, wherever you go, you would never fully be accepted. You can live in this facade of like, the people love me, the people are great here. You're never going to be a Korean. You're never going to be a Japanese. Like, you'll never be from China, bro. And they always look at you like that. They will always look at you like that. And that's the reality. People can live in this facade and bubble, but I don't like being around people when you know there's a facade there. The energy is not authentic. You can say, oh, I love you, man. But bro, I can read through that. It's like, nah. If you're not of their culture, you catch a lot of flack out there. You catch a lot of flack out there. Europe is a little bit more of a melting pot. It's a little bit more integrated. You know what I mean? But he's in the classroom, man. You a teacher. Those little one-offs to where people just got to be there because they teach. But it's like, if you just want to go there and start a living, nah, that ain't for me. Teach his own. That ain't for me.
Numerous reasons why I never want to move back to USA. One, the police. American police. Just knowing that, and even me, like when I was living in the U.S. before I moved to Korea.
You black, of course.
I always got scared of police because I was wondering in the back of my mind that, oh, if I do something wrong, if he pulls me over, what if he shoots me? What if I'm going to die if I get game over right then and there? And just knowing that, well, not just in Korea, but any other countries really, just knowing that, oh, the police, if they're going about their day, I can mind my business, I can do what I need to do.
I don't know. I've never had this fear, and I'm speaking as a black man, obviously. I've never had the fear of the police like that. And not to say I'm big and bad, but like, I don't know. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. If you get a dickhead cop and he does some crazy drastic, not even according to what you do, that's out of your control. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your time to go. He did some dumb stuff. He shot you. You died. And that sounds very straightforward and very dire, but you know, hear me out. Me personally, I never had an issue in terms of like being afraid. Like, one, I'm not illegally doing things deliberately. Two, if I got pulled over, I'm doing what he says. I'm not gonna sit here and, a lot of people get shot for reasons, no reasons at all. Other folks get shot because they're doing something stupid. Hey, don't reach for that. You reach anyway. You get shot. If you say license registration, I'm a license registration. Sit there, do what he tell me. But I don't know. Even the most racist cops, I don't think are belligerently, blatantly trying to shoot you and kill you all the time. Sometimes it's like they're scared. You make too sudden of a movement, they're trigger happy. They fire. But like I said, I can't control the narrative of life. Stuff happens. But there's situations where people deliberately put themselves in them situations. And if a cop pulled me over and I know he racist, I'm just gonna do what he says. Even if he's mistreating me in the most utmost way. It's like when every black person's like, I'm scared of the police. It's like, come on, excuse my language, you can't be a pussy your whole life, bro. Like, I don't want to go outside because I may get shot. You're just playing victim the whole time, and I'm not gonna be victimized. I don't care what the world's like.
Do and go back home safely. Not gotta worry about them ever again. It's an amazing feeling. Reason number 2, healthcare. Just knowing that, if I ever get sick, I can just end up going to the hospital or medical center, get checked out, and go back.
Everybody say healthcare.
I had to worry about, am I in network, or will this hospital doctor, will they take my insurance? No. At least in South Korea, I can go to the hospital, whether it be a public or private medical center, get checked out, go home, pay the bill, and then go home, of course, and just never have to worry about being in debt ever again when it comes to medical care. Because nobody should have to be in debt for medical care. Just get health care. That should be a right, human right. I don't care what side of political spectrum you're on. Nobody should be in debt.
Bruh, telling all facts. He ain't lying.
Or have to worry about, will my insurance cover it? Will my employer's insurance cover it? Or am I in network? No one should have to worry about that. You should worry about getting better, recovering, and go home. That's it. Also, number 3, I just don't have an incentive to move back to USA ever. Like most people who use family or friends, they miss their friends, their family. I miss them too. I miss my family. I miss my friends. Except Bryson Corday. I hate you, Jamal Simmons. I hate you, especially hate you, Reggie Simmons.
Fool.
No, I'm joking. Love you guys. But I just don't have that incentive to move back so quickly. Unless I have absolutely no choice to move back, then I'll do it. But for now, I just don't have it. Lastly, for me, I feel that if I ever move back to USA, I'll probably lose my confidence. I'll probably lose my independence. Because for me, at least, living abroad in general, not just, it can't be United States, South Korea, it could be anywhere. Just I felt more confident. I felt more accomplished. I've done more things that I would have ever done if I ever lived in the U.S. Like, for example, I became an author. I wrote 2 books, and I'm kind of working on my 3rd book right now.
That a boy?
I would have never done so. I wouldn't have pushed myself to do so if I have still stayed in the USA. And also COVID happened too. That also pushed me to do that too. But yeah.
Applause to him, man. I say that. But a lot of folks don't need to go elsewhere to be able to accomplish goals. And one thing I do like about the rat race, man, it keeps you on your toes. There's a lot of competition in the U.S. The American dream. Everybody wants to fight for it. But one thing I learned we got a lot of resources in the States, man. There's times to where I had this whole master plan when I was overseas. Like, man, when I go back to the States, I can do it. And when you get there, it's like you do get kind of unmotivated when you get back here. But when you in Europe and you see that their resources and network ain't like that, it's like, damn, when I get back to the States, I'm a whole different beast. In the first couple months, yeah, you on it, but then it just died down. It's like something in the air just kind of bring you down. He right about that point, but I kind of like an opposite type of effect for it. When you go places and realize you don't have it as good as the U.S., when you get back to the U.S., you use all your resources to like a whole different level. So I can agree to disagree, but that isolation and separation at times just makes you a whole different beast as well because you're more focused. You don't have everybody hitting you up, hey, you want to do this? And, people trying to drag you down and do all the generic basic stuff of life. So, I don't know. Comment down below y'all thoughts, man. Would y'all want to move out of the U.S.? Have y'all moved out of the U.S. and have no plans of returning? XYZ, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We'll see y'all next time. We out.